It is a Thursday, January the 21st. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. We've got your HCC news and information for the next half hour, plus a special guest. We're going to take you to Lookout Mountain, Tennessee in a few moments. But first, as always, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, she's got a new schedule because we're keeping her very busy here at HCC. Brittany Pacheco, my co-host this morning. Good morning to you, Brittany.
Hey, good morning, Todd. Great to see you, and great to see everyone joining us for this morning's edition of Up to the Minute. It is Thursday, so that means it's Virtual Family Fun Day. I was about to say Fun Friday, just kidding. One more day, y'all. But before we jump into today's show, I do want to remind everyone to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Definitely check that out. We love to have you as a subscriber because we've got lots of videos that come out pretty much on a weekly basis. Also, to our viewers, we need your help to not only grow our audience, but just to share this information to everyone who is not following our page. So if you can click that share button at the bottom of this post, that would be great. And last but not least, let's just have a great day. I know it's a little gloomy out, but I also just want to give a quick shout out to my oldest niece. She is turning 19 years old today. Can't believe it. So happy birthday, Cameron.
Yeah, we met her, didn't we? Didn't you bring her to HCCTV one day, and you also brought her out on a shoot with you?
I did. The day that I brought her to HCC to check out the podcast studio was when the podcast studio failed, like epically.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. Well, it's back up and running, even though we're not there. We're doing everything remotely these days, but so be it, you know. One of the advantages of being remote, we can venture literally across the world. Today, we're going across the country. I'm very excited because we're going to I like to call my home, my second home, Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. My wife's from there. We spend a time up there at least twice a year. And we've got Tim Serdinsky from Ruby Falls, which is a wonderful attraction there. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. How are you?
We are great. We're looking to hear more about Ruby Falls. It is Thursday's Virtual Family Fun Thursday, so we're excited to have you. Stand by if you would, Tim. We'll be back with you in a few moments.
All right.
All right, so we're going to kick things off talking about some things going on at HCC. You know, a big goal for a lot of our students is to transfer on to a four-year institution to complete a four-year degree. Well, you know, in the past, we used to have these fairs on our campuses where colleges from around the state and around the country really would come here and they would set up in cafeterias and locations to meet our students in person and do a presentation. Well, because of COVID, we're having to do it virtually. And right now we've got Zach Schroeder, HCC Instructional with the Quality Department. Zach, good morning to you. We're going to talk virtual transfer fairs this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about the virtual transfer fair. I guess we have to do this because we're in a pandemic. You know, we used to cover stories when you guys were out at Stafford. I know you had a virtual transfer fair at the Learning Hub and the cafeteria, but we can't do that in person, at least right now.
That's correct. We were kind of cautiously optimistic. We had our first virtual fair in the fall. We were hopeful that possibly in the spring we could go back to the more traditional on-campus fair where we hosted fairs throughout a 2-week or a week period on 6 to 7 different HCC campuses. But unfortunately, given the current climate and with the way things are going, we had to once again kind of rethink things and consider another virtual fair this time around. So something that, you know, we had some success. I think everybody the first time around in the fall, everybody was kind of getting used to this whole virtual environment, getting used to, you know, being, you know, not on campus anymore, not having that, you know, face-to-face reactions reactions to faculty and staff. So I think we're hopeful that once again we'll kind of boost things up and everybody will be a little bit more in the swing of things this time around.
You know, I know it's been very important to administration here at Houston Community College to keep our students on track. And a number of our students, you know, our bread and butter really, transfer from HCC to other institutions. And this is one way of doing that in keeping their graduation goals in sight, because you can meet with the representatives. You're doing it virtually. But from what I understand, they'll put on a live presentation for our students. Is that correct?
Yes, they are. They're hosting, and we're changing things around a little bit this time around. We had the first time in the fall, we had kind of these 1 hour segments where the institutions would kind of put on their presentation and then have some time in between there to kind of discuss one-on-one with the students that were in the meeting room. This time around, we're actually opening it up for a 4 hour window. So next week for January 25th through the 29th, each institution will be available for 4 hours each day to our students. So basically this will really kind of allow the students to kind of come and go, as opposed to just kind of, making time for just a 1 hour window here and there. They'll have this 4 hour, it'll be a lot more flexible for them to kind of go in and ask some questions, see the presentations, just kind of chat one-on-one. So we've expanded that net this time around to kind of make things a little bit more free flowing than they were in the fall.
Who can attend these transfer fairs? Obviously the students, but can the parents attend with them if they have some questions?
Yes, parents, and this was not unusual. The first go around in the fall, there were several occasions where the parents kind of hopped on with the students, and were there to kind of watch the presentations, make sure the students were asking the all the right questions that they needed to, so they were getting the information that could really not only benefit them, but also the information that the parents wanted to know as well for when their students were at that point of transferring. So not unusual. Parents are welcome. All HCC students are welcome. In fact, these links, if anybody is, 90% of them are going to take place over the Zoom. So if students, they can download Zoom for free. They basically just have to, click on the link, be there at that certain time when the representatives for the universities are on, and they can just have a conversation for as long as it takes, and all are welcome there, whether even HCC students or even prospective HCC students that maybe or for folks that just want to, if they have specific questions, if they're looking to get back into school and want to find out, kind of be updated on the whole transfer process as well. So this is a great opportunity for those students as well.
So the students access the live version through these links. Now, if they can't make it during the time, can they go back and re-watch these presentations? Will they live on the web perpetually?
Yes, majority of them are being recorded. And what I've also included this time on the schedule is we have the contact information for the individuals that are running these sessions. So you can put a face to a name or a name to a face. You'll have the email address of that individual as well. So for some reason, if the student does miss out and is unable to attend during a 4 hour window throughout the week, they have the contact information of that representative there, who, as I mentioned, that most of them are recording these as well. So they can definitely send those back, send it to an email, kind of a messaging service as well, whatever these institutions use, whatever the students are familiar with, so they can still have the ability to watch and learn and get the information that they need.
Can you name off some of the universities and colleges that are taking part in these? I understand many of the local ones. Are there ones from out of state as well?
Yes, we actually have about a handful from out of state. We have as far out as Missouri. We have actually Columbia University in New York joined recently as well. So they're on the schedule. But we have them from all over. All the local universities within Texas, especially in the Gulf Coast region, they're going to be there. But we've got them as far out as Missouri, New York. There's even schools that participate within Florida at a time or two, but we have it covered. We want to make sure that we have, and it's really a fascinating thing to see for these institutions that, because we'll hear from institutions that have attended maybe years ago or never attended, and they will reach out to us and say, hey, how can I get involved in this? I want to be a part of this. So it's really good participation, and it's not just limited to Texas. There's a lot of out-of-state schools that are getting on board and seeing the ability of our students to transfer and kind of branch out of the state.
Zach, are you seeing more colleges from around and universities from around the country wanting to take part because they can do more things virtually? Has the question come up from students and parents, can my child attend your school and completely do everything virtually right now? Does that question come up, and have you seen more colleges jump in because of that?
Yes, it's definitely, there's been more of a flow of that happening. And I think just because everyone has kind of settled into that virtual environment, they've realized how unique the situation is, kind of making, the best thing that they can out of these kind of trying times of moving everything online. So for the most part, those institutions that we have from outer space, especially the ones that we partner with and that do participate into these fairs, they do. Majority of the programs of transfer that they're really targeting for our students are completely online. So this really gives them an opportunity to actually, still go to an out-of-state school, hit that specific major that they're looking to, but also be able to complete that completely online. Because still the big question now is, the movability between, from HCC moving to another institution, how flexible that's going to be. But it has been really something to see over the last several months. Of these institutions being able to adapt to this online learning format and really engage with these students and really kind of widen that net to entice these students to really give them an opportunity to move to their institution from HCC.
We've been talking with Zach Schroeder. He is with HCC. We're talking about our virtual college transfer fairs, which are happening online this year because of the pandemic. For more information, you can always visit the website. It's hccs.edu/transfer fair. It's happening the 25th through the 29th. We'll have a link to it in the social media post. Zach, thanks for joining us here and bringing us up to date.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Todd and Brittany. Thank you very much. I always appreciate it. And y'all take care.
All right. Stay safe out there, Zach.
All right. Thank you.
All right, folks, we're moving on to Lookout Mountain, Tennessee. That's right. We've got Tim joining us, and he's with one of the attractions on Lookout Mountain. Tim, I spend a lot of time up there, at least twice a year. I have family up there. My wife's from there, so I'm very familiar with Ruby Falls. But just to give people an idea, Ruby Falls is one of three main attractions on the mountain. There's a lot to see if you go up to Lookout Mountain in Chattanooga.
Oh yeah, definitely. And a lot of people sometimes mistakenly think that we're the same attraction, but we are in fact three distinct separate attractions. Ruby Falls, Rock City, which is beautiful, and then also the Incline Railway, which is the steepest incline railway in the world, actually. So
right. So there's a lot to see to drive up that beautiful view of Lookout Mountain. You guys are on the Tennessee side of the mountain. Of course, the other side is Georgia. But we're going to talk about Ruby Falls today, and it's fascinating how this came about. Now, folks, if you haven't been to Ruby Falls, it's an underground attraction, and obviously the main thing to see is the falls. But tell us a bit about its history, because this was founded by a man who I think named it after his wife.
Yeah. Actually, so Leo Lambert, our founder, him and Ruby were sweethearts for a long time. Her family lived in Indiana. So when they moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee, Leo actually followed them, which turned out to be a pretty good move because they got married. Now, during that time, in the early days in Chattanooga, he had heard about a cave called the Lookout Mountain Cave, which is a separate cave from Ruby Falls. And he was a chemist by trade, but he was also a cave enthusiast. And so he started to look into accessing Lookout Mountain Cave, but it turns out that the railroad that came through here had actually blocked off the original entrance to the cave, which has a lot of Civil War history. It's rumored that there's a signature from Andrew Jackson, President Andrew Jackson, down in there and everything. Lots of cool stories about it. And so over the next 10 years, he began kind of rallying investors because he had an idea to survey the top of the mountain and actually drill an elevator shaft down into the mountain. So 10 years later, when they got that project going, they were probably about halfway down, 260 feet down into the mountain, when they intersected another cave that they hadn't planned on. And that ended up being the Ruby Falls Cave. They crawled through there for 17 hours, it said in his diary, until they discovered the subterranean waterfall that ends up being 1,120 feet under the summit of Lookout Mountain.
Now, just to set it up, when you visit Ruby Falls, you're going to take an elevator ride. It's going to take you to some caverns, and you see some wonderful sights before you get to the falls. You guys have tours going in and out of there on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's correct. It's about an hour and 10-minute tour, and you're going to see a lot of key formations. Some of them have some funny names, like the Elephant's Foot. I think I sent a picture of that one. I don't know if you guys have that or not, but the Leaning Tower. So yeah, there's lots of cool stuff to see on the way to the fall. So it's not even just about the waterfall, which again, a lot of people think you're going to take the elevator down and just see the falls, but a lot more to it.
There certainly is. Now, I know during the shutdown, you guys did close for some time, and then you reopened, and you're doing things differently for safety during this pandemic. Maybe you can tell us about some of those measures you have in place for people who may be concerned about getting out.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we get those questions every day on social media too. People, they want to come and they want to get out, but they're not sure, is it safe to come here? You know? So we do have reduced capacity. We're at about half capacity right now. We have been, actually, we started when we came back up at about 40%, and we've since increased to about half, but it's still, still definitely not as many people as we used to send through the cave.
Yeah.
There are lines painted on the sidewalks all through there just to kind of remind people as you're walking and for various stops to make sure you're keeping that 6-foot distance from the party in front of you. Masks are required of all of our guests and employees while inside the building, the elevator and the cave especially. And one thing I love about Ruby Falls is they were requiring masks before Hamilton County, which is the county we're in, mandated that. So we're all about safety, and we wanted to do it right from the beginning. If we were going to open it back up, we wanted people to feel safe, coming here. So we've been doing that. Hand sanitizers all over the place, even in the cave. And then we even purchased a really cool one of those electrostatic sanitizing guns. I don't know if you've heard of those or seen those.
Heard of them, yeah.
Yeah, when you have something like a gift shop where there's literally thousands of items in the gift shop, there's no way to wipe all those down. Those are being handled every day by people. So the electrostatic gun actually sprays a microscopic sanitizing spray over those items without soaking them. So that's done daily. And so that's a really cool item to have.
I know during the pandemic and the shutdown, you guys started doing a lot of videos from inside the cave, and you have a lot of virtual offerings. You guys have a YouTube channel. Maybe you can tell us about what people can find, because I know you're also very active in social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for one, during the furlough, they started the virtual. I wasn't here just yet in that position, but the person before me started these virtual video tours. That way people who were kind of missing out, could still experience Ruby Falls, at least in some capacity. But since then, we've also had several groups ask us, groups that would normally plan trips with their group to Ruby Falls. And obviously they can't for whatever reason, either the size of the group or distance or just, not everybody feels that they can do it safely. Sure. So we've had a lot of special requests for that virtual tour video. So we've kind of recorded it and re-recorded it and adapted it per group, So it's not really a commercial thing that we offer, but if the group asks and requests something like that, we are definitely willing to accommodate, especially during this time.
Of course, we will put the link to Ruby Falls in the social media post for the show, and you can find them on social media and they're on YouTube as well. Tim, let me ask you this. You guys, obviously, during these times, if someone goes to Ruby Falls, they want to spend a few hours there because you have the falls themselves, but you also have some grounds there that are beautiful. You have a tower, and I know during the summer months, you have a zip line as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like I said earlier, the tour itself takes about an hour, 15 minutes, but we also have the historic Lookout Mountain Tower. So you can go up there and you catch a really beautiful view, like sweeping view of the Tennessee Valley and the Tennessee River below. There's picnic tables on the grounds, and also the trailhead for the Guild Trail that wraps up Lookout Mountain starts from our parking lot. So you're certainly
on that Guild Trail many times.
Yeah. So you're welcome to park in our parking lot and head out on the trail for the day. So yeah, there's lots to do here.
So Tim, if someone's planning a trip to Ruby Falls, if they're going to Chattanooga, they should find you guys, plan for a couple of hours there. I mean, what would you suggest?
Definitely, at least 2 to 3 hours. I mean, if you also want to check out the grounds, and also during the summer, like you said, when our zip line is open. So that's about an hour experience in itself. So just depending on what you want to do, they definitely need to go to rubyfalls.com, because right now we are advanced reservations only.
Well, that was going to be my next question. So they do need to book. They need to book online, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. And from what I know, you book online early, folks, because during busy days, you guys will sell out for the day. I've seen that happen too.
Oh yeah, definitely. And just as a tip, if you are going to come, always the best time is a weekday for sure. But then if you want to try to avoid the busier times of the day, even if you do have to come on a weekend, you can't help it, definitely before 9 o'clock and after 3 o'clock are better times to visit if you're looking to avoid crowds. But we don't really have those as much anymore now that we're doing the time ticketing. But, the slots definitely do sell out easier, though, since we're on reduced capacity.
Tim Serdinsky, digital media and PR coordinator with Ruby Falls. We appreciate you joining us on this virtual family fun Thursday and bringing us some information. Thanks for being here, Tim.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, stay safe. And once again, folks, great attraction. If you get up to Chattanooga, make sure you check them out. We'll put the social media, the links to Ruby Falls in our social media post for the show. All right, HCC news and information. We're going to move on to Brittany Pacheco. Brittany, you haven't been to the Chattanooga area yet, have you?
No, I've never ventured out to Tennessee. It's definitely on my bucket list just to say I've been to Tennessee.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there. All right, so we've got a lot of things going on at HCC, folks. A lot of things we want to unpack, talk about. One of them, we're very excited about this next promotion that's going on. It's free IT training. You can get a certification as a computer support specialist. And Brittany, it's from a grant, from what I understand, to pay for this tuition.
It is. It's a big grant. So Harris County is offering $350,000 grant for a workforce training program to jumpstart IT careers for HCC students, free of charge. This is amazing. The 18-week program is from January 30th through June 15th on Saturdays only. Okay, so this is like once a week for 18 weeks. Plus, there's career counseling that will be offered upon completion, and all industries need information technology. So for more information and to register for this amazing program, again, it's free to HCC students. Go to hccs.edu/free-training, and we'll have that link in the post after the show.
All right, limited seats are available, as Brittany mentioned, so make sure you register today. How can you pass it up? It's free. You qualify, you get in, and you get your training in an 18-week program. You cannot beat that. And you know, Brittany, these jobs, we had Mike Webster on the show yesterday. These jobs start off at $55,000 a year and up to $75,000 just to start.
Yeah, I mean, for someone who is maybe fresh out of high school, who's not sure what they want to do, I mean, take advantage of this opportunity because, again, it's free to HCC students. Obviously, you need to go to hccs.edu free/free-training. Sorry, I can brain today. But once again, it's a great opportunity, especially for those who are maybe looking for a career change or wanting to start that career, because $55,000 to start.
Yeah,
that's a good chunk of change for someone who, is
out of high school,
out of high school. I mean, come on. I wish I made that much money when I was at high school.
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so folks, let your voice be heard. HCC is launching an anonymous survey to assess the college's openness to a smoke and tobacco-free environment. Check out the QR code on HCC's district Facebook page. We'll have that information, of course, on our Facebook page. All right, in-person financial aid appointments. Yeah, they're back, but you have to make an appointment first, Brittany.
Definitely. So unfortunately, they are not accepting any walk-ins whatsoever. So it is in everyone's best interest to make appointments ahead of time for the in-person financial aid appointments. So to go and book an appointment, go to hccs.edu/FINAID contact. That's FinAid contact. Once again, we'll be sure to include that in this post after the show.
All right, registration. Of course, our spring semester 2021 is underway. Second start is just around the corner. In fact, classes begin February the 16th. And there's some options for learning. Now, let's go through this real quickly. Online anytime, you know that. That's just, you sign up, you can do the course anytime. It's available online. Another one is online on a schedule where you can interact with maybe your professor, your classmates, and it's more of a live setting, but online. Flex Campus, that is being postponed to after spring break. You'll hear more information on that according to CDC guidelines. And of course, COVID cases in Harris County, that'll be, that information will be given out and updated on February the 22nd. Right now, after spring break is the target date to get the Flex Campus going once again. Lab-based courses, tricky part. The workforce courses are meeting in person for the lab-based courses. All right. Workforce, we're talking welding, this computer IT support program. They'll be doing some in-person meeting, those type of training. Forklift operator, obviously you can't do that online, so they'll be meeting in person, following CDC guidelines, and then very small class loads, which means you need to register today. Register early, get the financial aid you need. Payment plans are available, all of that if you go to hccs.edu/now. That's where you can go for all your registration needs. And Brittany, all of the student services are literally available online.
Absolutely. So regardless of the fact that we're, working remotely, or students are going to school remotely, and maybe, in person for those certain lab-based courses, student services is still available across the board. That includes our extended sessions for our virtual open house. So it's all the way through the end of January. If you're interested in participating in one of those open houses, go to hccs.edu/information sessions. We also have an online services toolkit. It's a one-stop guide for technology, textbooks, tutoring, and much, much more. This is right at your fingertips. It's free for our students. To access that toolkit, go to hccs.edu/online-toolkit. And Todd, we also have our virtual lobby that has been really essential for our students who are having questions about admissions and financial aid and things of that nature.
Yeah, so the virtual lobby, we launched it last summer. The response has been incredible, to say the least. It was launched by a team here at Houston Community College, I think based out of the Northwest College, and they really went to all ends to make sure that our students' needs were being, and the questions were being answered. So you can go to the virtual lobby, you can get a Zoom session with someone from the virtual lobby, you can get a phone call or an email from them. So all you have to do is go to the virtual lobby. You can find it on our homepage. It's real easy to find. Go to hccs.edu/virtual lobby, or just visit hccs.edu and click on the virtual lobby. Outdoor Wi-Fi zones. Brittany, we were having a lot of students saying, look, I'm having some issues studying at home. My family's driving me nuts. They're loud in the background, or my internet keeps going in and out. Can you help me out? So we've got these outdoor Wi-Fi zones on our campuses.
Yeah, it's definitely so beneficial for our students who, like you say, either had internet connection issues or just needed a quiet space to study. And I totally relate to that because my dog sometimes just doesn't shut up. But anyway, I still love her. But these parking lot Wi-Fi zones are available to connect students to the internet, but you will not have access to the restrooms or outlets to charge the devices inside the building. So make sure you plan ahead of time, bring your devices. I'm not sure if they make like these external batteries for you to continue charging your devices while you're on the computer. I don't know. Technology is always changing. But if you are interested.
I got a news flash for you. They do make them, and I've got about 3 of them around here. Go to the store. You can find them real easily.
Fantastic.
Try Amazon.
Oh, Amazon for the win. We're not sponsored. Sponsor us. Anyway, go to hccs.edu/outdoor Wi-Fi to check out which campuses have these parking lot Wi-Fi zones for you to access.
All right, so tomorrow on the show, we've got some special guests. One of them will be one of our presidents, Dr. Madeline Barillo, the president of HCC Southwest College, and also one of our vice chancellors now. She's doing a dual role. She'll be talking with us not only about her new position, but she's very excited about this recent Texas Reskilling grant we got. Brittany, we've got a lot of programs where you can get enrolled, like we just talked about a few moments ago, and your tuition's paid for. You get out and you've got a job and it doesn't cost you anything.
Where was that when I was a student here at HCC?
We have them now. I can't answer that was maybe a year ago. So.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. We're not going to pretend that I've been at HCC for a decade. Anyway, but yes, it's a great. It's just great that we have those programs that are paid for ahead of time, and all the students just need to do is enroll. And tomorrow we are also continuing our 2021 Film Fridays with Houston Chronicle film critic Carrie Darling, who will review new releases and tell us about the Houston edition of the Sundance Film Festival coming up later this month. So our filmmaking students should find this very interesting.
Yeah, so on Fridays, if you're a filmmaking student or you're just interested in filmmaking, of course, check out our show because we're going to be doing special segments reaching out and talking about the film industry in Houston and film-related topics for our students. All right, that wraps up today's show. Brittany, thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.
All right, and everyone, thank you for joining us for this Thursday edition of Up to the Minute. We hope you have a great day. Don't forget to follow us on social media and click that share button. That way we can grow our audience.
We'll see you tomorrow morning, live 10 a.m.